NFL Sunday. Let's do a double gamer. What do you say? 2 early start games. We'll talk Bengals, Bills. We'll talk Seahawks and Falcons. Right here, right now. Teddy covers WagerTalk.com with a pair of big game breakdowns. And we're going to start. Look at the Odds Logic live odds screen with Cincinnati and Buffalo. The Bills minus 5.5. That's pretty much the prevailing line just about everywhere. Minus 5.5. I've seen a couple of 6s out there. Total 53, the prevailing number for Cincy, Buffalo. And I'm going to start with this. Yes, the Bengals beat the snot out of Baltimore last weekend. But before we get too excited about what Cincinnati did, let's note 2 things. Number 1, Lamar Jackson is not Lamar Jackson right now. So Cincy's defensive acumen, perhaps, again, they shut down Baltimore, but some of that has to do with Baltimore, not Cincinnati. Second, the most basic measure of how well a team did, yards per play. In that game, Baltimore 6.1 yards per play, Cincinnati 4.8 yards per play. So the Ravens were still, even with all their injuries, were still able to move the football. They just turned the ball over against Cincy. Whereas 4.8 yards per play for the Bengals, again, when you're under 5, that means your offense is not clicking on all cylinders. That was the case, even though they scored in the 30s and got Joe Burrow back. Of course, Burrow, a notorious slow starter. Don't be fooled by the final score of Cincy, Baltimore. I know it was late on Thanksgiving night, and I know a lot of people didn't watch it. I did. And I'm not convinced that the Bengals, on either side of the football, are anywhere near as good as they looked in that ball game. Of course, that was the fewest points they'd allowed in a game all season. The first time they'd allowed fewer than 26 points since week 1. So, traveling to Buffalo in the cold, taking on a Bills team that just ran for 249 yards last week. James Cook and they ran the same play over and over again. Pittsburgh couldn't stop it. That speaks to Buffalo's ability to execute as much as it speaks to Pittsburgh's defense. But the fact is, when you're in a spot where you got a play that's working, I'll give the coaching staff credit for going back to it again and again and again. And it could work here against Cincinnati. Wouldn't shock me at all. Again, able to win comfortably, despite the fact that Josh Allen didn't have a completion longer than 16 yards, and he was sacked 8 times playing without both starting offensive tackles. So certainly a run-heavy game plan. Don't know yet what Buffalo's offensive line is going to look like here, but I do know that Cincinnati doesn't have much of a pass rush. I do know that I don't trust the Bengals defense to stop anybody. And I do know that there's urgency for the Bills. Again, the Bills started 4-0, and they're 4-4 since. That being said, they've beaten some pretty good teams. Pittsburgh, Tampa, Kansas City, Carolina. They're all playoff contenders. Not like they're just beating up on bottom feeders. Is Cincy a playoff contender? No. Cincy, are they executing effectively on offense? Again, they went 1 for 6 in the red zone last week against Baltimore. I understand. They won by margin. I'm not expecting them to win twice by margin. I'm not expecting them to win twice at all. If I'm playing this game, it'd be Bills or pass for this better. And again, since he's not a team I believe in, Burrow, no Burrow, doesn't matter. Well, it matters, but for the purpose of this ball game, Cincy, the defensive struggles they have, where they are at this stage of the campaign, the exhale off of getting a win. I know they had a nice December run last year, won 5 in a row. I'm not anticipating more of the same in 2025. Give me Buffalo against the Bengals in early start action on Sunday. Before we talk about the Seabags and the Falcons, I do want to ask you guys one simple favor. If you like this type of breakdown, hit the like button. Thank you. Appreciate it. Really. Comment below. Tell us what you think about this game or any of the games in NFL action this weekend. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the WagerTalk YouTube channel. We're talking close to 250,000 subscribers. For a reason. We're putting out good free content every single day. Get instant alerts when these videos go live. Like, comment, and subscribe to WagerTalk TV right here on YouTube. I also want to let you know about a great offer right now, available through Sunday on my homepage, wt.buzz/TC, or just visit the website, WagerTalk.com. Use promo code TEDDY299. That's going to get you the rest of the football season, college and NFL for $299. It's a deal. It includes all the December NFL through week 18, through the playoffs, through the Super Bowl, including the legendary Super Bowl prop report. That's a real good postseason runs in recent years. I'm expecting more of the same this year. In addition, you'll get all the college football. Start this weekend with conference championships. Go through the entirety of bowl season. Nothing more to buy. No bait and switch, no nonsense. Come on. Holiday season, $2.99. Teddy, $2.99 at checkout is your promo code. Take advantage. Get on board. And let's partner up for the course of the next couple of months and close out this football season in strong, profitable fashion. So visit WagerTalk.com or my homepage again, wt.buzz/TC. Looking at the Odds Logic Live odds screen right now for Seattle and Atlanta, I'm seeing the Seabags. Sorry, I call them Seabags. It's just one of those things. Someone said it once. It's stuck in my head forever. The Seahawks, -7 in most locations, total 44.5 at Atlanta. And I get it. The Falcons have been competitive in defeat in recent weeks. They really have. I'll give them credit for not getting blown out, I guess. Is that real? They're not getting crushed week in, week out, not even close. That being said, they're not winning, and every game that Kirk Cousins plays is one more game where he's getting banged up. It's not like Cousins. They're inspired with confidence with Kirk Cousins behind center these days. It's not like he played great football, and it's not like they're losing to these elite teams. They lost to the Jets last week by a field goal. They lost to Carolina in overtime. They lost to Indy when Indy was banged up in OT. The Pats, the Dolphins, the Niners. I'm old enough to remember, I was a veteran then. But Raheem Morris was the head coach in Tampa Bay in, 2010, 2011, 2012. The first year, they had a lot of success. They had Josh Freeman at QB. The second year, it crashed and burned. The third year, he got fired. In Atlanta, what have we seen from this Falcons team? This is kind of a crash and burn season for Atlanta. They're supposed to be competing in a very winnable division. Instead, they've watched Carolina leapfrog them. All right. It's hard for me to make a case, and I understand they've been hanging tough. They've been in these games. When you start losing them again and again and again, like the loss to the Jets, like the back-to-back OT losses they suffered earlier in November. As the season progresses, as your ancient QB takes more and more hits, I'm less excited about putting my money on you. And that's absolutely the case for Atlanta right now. In addition, that old West Coast team traveling east for the early start game, adage that I've used myself over the years, if you're playing that angle this year, last year, in recent seasons, you haven't made a whole lot of money. Seattle, coming off a game in which Sam Darnold was pretty off. The offense didn't work at all. All right. That being said, that defense was absolutely dominant. And when a defense is good enough to turn a game, that creates a whole lot of room for the offense to do good things. And it's not like I expect more of the same crap from Darnold. I think he'll be better this week. But of the 4 units on this field, Seattle's defense is the one I believe in and I trust in. That makes me look to the Seahawks as favorites. Again, you talk about what do I want? I want a potent offense or a good defense as a favorite. I want the defense, man, because when you build the lead, you hold it. In addition, we'll look at the under. So Seahawks and under is the way it would look for that one. Certainly a game where I'm expecting Atlanta to continue their struggles, putting the biscuit in the basket. Bijan Robinson's a tremendous talent. That being said, the Falcons' offense surrounding him continues to be limited. So there you have it. Double Gamer, powered by WagerTalk. Have yourself a great weekend. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned right here on this channel for more quality video content from WagerTalk.com. Cheers.